Welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever. I'm Tech Hench, and in today's episode I'm doing another one-off build, this time inspired actually by a place where I've just been on holiday. So as you all know, with the pandemic you can't actually go abroad or anything like that at the minute, so I ended up going on a short break in the UK to Somerset. It's a really amazing part of the country. If you've never been, I would definitely recommend a trip there. The place I actually stayed in was actually in the middle of nowhere. It was miles away from shops or anything like that. So what I've built here is kind of a little house. It's not quite the same, but it's a little house with some fields around it and nice one-track road down it, although in this it is actually a two-way road. I'm just really trying to create the feel of the place. If you are interested in looking at the place where I did stay, just let me know down in the comments below and I'll post a link to their website. I've just got a couple of updates to the Tech Hench channel as well. I've just hit 500 subscribers, so thank you everyone for subscribing, liking, viewing, watching everything. It really does mean a lot. I never actually thought I'd get anywhere near this, so hopefully we'll just keep growing and we'll see where we get to with it. And the second thing, I've just joined Amazon's affiliate program. So you will notice some links in the description below of some of the equipment that I'm using, so my mouse, keyboard, microphone and things like that. If you are interested in looking at them, please do go and click on them and have a quick look. If you purchase anything through my link, or if you go subscribe to Amazon Prime or anything like that, I'll just get a small kickback from it, which will just help me grow the channel even more. What I did do before actually starting this episode, it was just actually go and sculpt the land quite a bit before I actually even started, just because the tools aren't great in Transport Fever. It does take ages to build up any of the land or anything like that, or to get it to kind of a state that I wanted it in. So I went and did that first, just so you didn't have to go sit and watch me do any of that. As you can already see, or you've already seen, I've put the road in now, so it is quite of a twisty road. I did want it actually to have some sort of height to it, and then kind of come down a bit of a hill, and then just kind of snake round a little bit. I didn't want it to just be dead straight, because the roads and stuff like that around the kind of countryside in the UK are actually quite bendy. They're not straight at all. As you can see, that's the house that I've chosen. Completely different to what I stayed in when I was on holiday, but I actually quite like that house. I thought it fit quite well in the kind of scenery there. So for some reason, when I put this road down, the bushes that were there kind of went through them. It didn't delete them. I thought normally it deleted them, but I might be mistaken. We'll just go and smooth all this out. So around here I wanted it kind of to be as smooth as possible, just so if it was somewhere someone lived, you can actually pull a car on and things like that. And what I'm actually going to do is put a hedge all the way around this road that I've got here. So with one of the mods or the fencing mod, I think it is, it has actually got a hedge, two different types of hedge actually. It's got the kind of hedge that's been cut, or one that's just been left to grow. So normally around these types of roads, they're just left to grow. So that's the hedge that I'm going to use. So as you can see there, I'm just putting that down. What you normally find when you go around these roads anyway in the UK certainly, is because they're so tight, they're normally single track roads, so you can only get one car down at a time. And a lot of the time the vegetation's all grown and things like that, certainly in the summer anyway. Sometimes the roads aren't the best either. They've got grass and things like that growing through them. So on this side I'm just going to go down to the main road with the hedge. I'm probably not going any further with that. What I probably could have done is around this sort of area here is put a few more trees and things like that, and maybe some bushes and stuff, but on this particular build I'm probably not going to bother with that, because the actual main part of the build is actually up at the house. But I am going to go all the way back on, do the other side, and just add some more detail there. Around this sort of area I'm probably going to add some sort of field as well. I think it's probably going to be a corn or wheat field, just because they stand out the most when you actually put them fields down. They actually look quite good. And I've actually got the tool to work quite well now. Before it was kind of cutting into the ground and wasn't showing up very well. I'm not going to go very far with the hedge this way either, because actually this road doesn't actually connect to anything at the minute. I didn't actually connect it to anything. I'm just probably going to leave it there. So as you can see, I have put just a tiny piece of road as well next to the house, just there, as you can see. Just as a bit of a driveway for the house. And then I'm just between the road or the edge of the road, I'm just going along with the dirt brush, just to that look a little bit nicer. Maybe a little fence here. So I do use the white picket fence to begin with. I actually think one of the other fences would probably looked a little bit nicer or a little bit better. It's probably a little bit too small, I think, for this type of building. And I'm actually going to use this hedge tool to actually mark out the edges for the fields and things like that as well. Because you do normally find, well, you do sometimes find anyway, not always, but with fields and things like that, they're kind of separated with hedges or fences and things like that. But I think a hedge would be quite good for this one at least. It looks quite nice. I just want the house to have a little bit of a garden. So what I'm going to do is actually just put an area of dirt, and that's just going to be an area where you can park vehicles or things like that. And then just a bit of gravel around the actual building. So that's actually a real big garden for this house, this. So obviously it's got to have a mown lawn. Can't have untidy. So quick tip to quickly delete all that kind of stuff. If you use the tree removal tool, it actually brushes them all away. Really useful. It's actually a tip someone left on the channel at some point, which was come in very handy. Just around this bit, we're just going to use a bit of a rustic fence, which looks quite good. Just a bit of fence there as well. So as you can see there, just coming back and changing that because I didn't really like the look of it. I think if I used that type of fence around the whole of the property, it probably would have looked better, but because I didn't, yeah, that's just going to disappear. So one thing Transport Fever probably is missing, or even the mods probably aren't great, is adding flowers and things like that and actually creating a proper garden. So I kind of end up just using what there is or what I've got on a mod. If you do know of a mod that is actually better for flowers and things like that, please let me know in the comments below. Do you have a mod that has certain things, but yeah, like I say, it's not really very good. Just to give it a bit more of a country feel around here. Normally you've got plenty of trees around, so I had plenty of trees on mine. Again, the variety of trees that you've got in Transport Fever aren't great, so I normally tend to end up just using this tree. There you've got a birch tree and things like that, and palm trees and things, but yeah, I normally find that one looks the nicest around here. What we could do with is maybe some oak trees and things. I did find these flowers though. I think they look pretty good, so that's why I've got a nice row of them. And what I probably am going to do is add some sort of outhouse. So with the buildings that you get, I think it's a mod, isn't it? Yes, it is a mod that I've got that lets you allow you to place these buildings and stuff. There is a commercial building part of it, so I'm probably just going to use either one of the commercial buildings or one of the industrial buildings, one of the old ones, so it looks more like a shed or something like that. That look quite good. This is the field I'm using as well, so as you can see, I think it's the wheat, is it? Corn, I think it. Oh, is it wheat? Yes, I think it is wheat. So it actually looks really good, and actually molds to the ground actually really well. Whereas I'm sure when I've placed this before, it kind of cut into the ground and didn't work very well. This time I seem to have managed to get it look quite nice. Just around the edge of that one up, as you maybe just saw there, I just put a little bit of dirt, which you can actually have with that modded dirt field. Nice little swinging bench just to add into the garden. I'm going to just add a little bench here as well, just so you can have a sit there and look out onto the views. What would have probably been nice if at the end of the big main road, if I'd have put some kind of mountainous hills. Didn't do that on that episode, but if I carry on with this map, I might end up doing that. Just to split up these, as I said earlier, I'll just put a bit of a hedge around it. The area is actually coming on quite nicely now. So I'm just going to add in some random ones just like that, just to split everything up. This little area would have been quite nice actually, just to make a way to get to the field. Probably need a little gate somewhere. I wonder if there actually might be a gate on the store somewhere. Might actually have a look and just see if we can add a little gate. So here I'm just adding the outhouse. It's going to be a little shed type place. One thing I didn't add is any cars on this. Probably could have done that as well, just had a car parked up. Just finish the fence up here. Found a little house. And as I come towards the end of the build, I have just done a small flyover for a before and after. So I did remember to do a before flyover, which is good because I've never normally managed to remember to do that. So here's the before. And this is what it's turned into. And that's today's episode, so thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the episode, and why not subscribe if you want to see more Transport Fever. The update is going to land on the 8th of July, so I will be doing some videos around that, just to check out what's new and things like that. I have also got another one-off build that I've done, I'll be releasing shortly. And once the new update has been released, I'll probably start a new series on something. Not quite sure what it's going to be yet. I am kind of thinking it's going to be a map from like the 1900s, maybe a lot smaller map than my previous big build map. If you've got any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.